it's Foo's Airsoft, and today I'm going to be reviewing a very iconic pistol made by Tokyo Marui, and that is the MK23 non-blowback airsoft pistol. And let's get into it. So first, let's start off where we always do, and that's with the unboxing. It does come with a hard shell box, which is really nice because most guns just come with a cardboard box and you gotta buy that later, so nice that comes with one. And then it comes with a label signifying that you have a hop-up. Oh yeah, you know, and a fixed slide. But that's pretty much all I can read because the rest of it's in Japanese, and I can't really read Japanese. And opening out the box, you get obviously what you paid for, which I have the box right here. You get your airsoft pistol. You get a Tokyo Marui magazine. You get a foam-filled suppressor, which I put a little tape mod on. I really recommend you do that. And then it comes with a little thing of BBs in this little black, whatever that is. I did test the BBs to see if they were any good, the ones that came with it. I think they were 2.5s. I use 32s for the testing, and those worked all right. But the BBs, they came with BBs. And then underneath the pistol, I thought this was really clever. It has a nice little jam rod underneath the actual pistol. And then the most disappointing part of the whole package, the crappy flashlight. I'll go more into that later. Taking the foam up from there, you get a nice little instruction manual. Tells you everything you need to know about the pistol. I read Japanese, but really just I get a couple funny pictures not to shoot my dog and stuff, so that's kind of funny. So taking out the box, let's point out one of the most obvious things: the size. This thing makes every other pistol look tiny in comparison. And with the flashlight, I'm not sure why you're using that, and the suppressor, it's massive. But weirdly enough, when you pick it up, it's super light because of its mostly plastic build construction. So staying on the build construction, yes, it is mostly plastic, with the lower, the upper being plastic, but there are still some metal parts on it. Like the hammer is metal, the safety is metal, the slide release, which doesn't actually work, is metal. The suppressor is full metal, and the threads are metal, and the mag release is metal, and obviously the mag is metal. Just because I say it's made out of plastic doesn't mean it's crappy plastic. It's that Tokyo Marui nice feeling plastic. I don't feel like it's gonna break even after hard use of using it. So now let's get into one of the most iconic things about this gun: how dead silent it is. The suppressor attached, I can tell you firsthand because I've been shot at by these before, you can't even hear it. We'll talk about the aesthetics. Now I know, looks are subjective and stuff, but this thing has like a nice retro, kind of futuristic look to it. But you really don't. It looks kind of futuristic, but you don't get very many tactics. There's 0 Picatinny rails. The suppressor is proprietary, so you can't use any type of suppressor you want. They do make some aftermarket Picatinny stuff, but you don't get tactics right out of the box. And I almost forgot to mention the grip. This thing has a nice, beefy grip, which shouldn't really be a problem unless you're, have smaller hands. And it has decent texturing on the back, the front, and the sides. It's a nice feeling grip. If you want to, you could put grip tape or something on it, but I don't really see how that's necessary. So now let's go over one of the most important parts of your airsoft pistol: the controls. So first of all, it has a H&K mag release, which is a little bit different than a standard mag release, but it's really not that bad. It's and it's ambidextrous, so that's pretty nice. Also, the trigger pull is a little bit heavier than most triggers, but that's because of the double action feature, because there's no blowback. So the trigger pull on this thing is a little bit heavy, but you get a lot of power for that heaviness. And then, weirdly enough, it has a molded decocker, which doesn't actually do anything, it's just molded. And then, this is probably one of the weirdest features on it, it has 2 safeties. Since the slide doesn't actually come back, there's no point for a slide to release. But instead of just having it molded plastic, they have a safety that you can flip on whenever you want. But then they have, in the back, they have like a 1911 style safety, where it's like you have to have the gun cocked to put it on safety. And it's kind of weird, but most of the time I don't even find myself using the 1911 safety. I just find myself using the slide release safety because you can put it on whenever you want. So going back to the trigger pull and hammer, Like I said, it is a non-blowback pistol, so the pistol does not cock the hammer for you. So there's really about 3 ways you can do it. Probably the most popular one is just to have a heavier trigger pull and just pull the trigger heavy. Another one that's pretty popular is cock it like a cowboy when you're about to fire. And then another one, if you kind of like the cocking by hand, it's just kind of half pull the trigger if you know you're going to get into some action. And then when you get in there, have your first trigger pull be pretty light. Now let's get into one of the best features of this gun. The range this thing possesses, just even right out of the box. But let's first talk about how you get that range, and that's with the hop up. Now, first you'd think to adjust the hop up, you just pull the slide back and it should be there. But not really. You have to open her up, just like a normal airsoft pistol, and adjust it as I'm demonstrating in this clip right here. So now that I went over the hop up, we'll finally get to the range and accuracy test of this video. So I figured it was a nice day today, so I figured I'd come outside and instead of just commentating over the shooting I got, I would show you in person. I'm going to be running a 1 Tigris soft-shelled holster. There are better options, but this is like the only holster I had that could fit it. Something about this gun that makes it a very popular sidearm to snipers and riflemen alike is the range you get out of this thing. Right now I've been testing it. It outranges any airsoft pistol. I've not ever seen an airsoft pistol that even comes close to the range this sucker has. Kind of see my target. This is about 30 feet. It ain't gonna be any trouble for the Mark 23. And then we'll push her back a little bit. Not even a problem. And we'll see what it can do. Miss, hit. Still probably gonna be reliably hitting people. It's now pushing it back. Not much more I can say. Let's see how it does. Don't worry, I'll zoom in for you because the target is kind of far away now. Hit, miss. Okay. I didn't think it could do it. Still reliably hitting the target. Let's push her back even farther. If it can hit this, I'm gonna be really surprised. I've never even shot this far at a target. Okay, here we go. Hit! See that? I hit that crap. Took a second to get there though. Oh my goodness. That's a small target. Miss. Mount. Okay, we won't go any farther back. But I hit one. This thing's a monster. This is straight out of the box. When I get this thing upgraded, it's gonna be a monster. So before I wrap up the video, I'm going to go over the accessories. Starting with probably my least favorite, the flashlight. If you think you're going to be getting a good high quality flashlight out when you buy this thing, you're going to be severely disappointed because this flashlight, there's a lot to be desired. For one, it's made out of cheap plastic, and then on top of that, basically a dollar store flashlight would outperform this thing. It's not very good. But looking on the upside, it looks really cool, I guess. It makes you look all like tactical and stuff, but you can't fit it in a holster. It makes the gun, in my opinion, really unbalanced, and it's just not a good flashlight. But not all the accessories that come with this thing are bad, so we'll go to the suppressor. The suppressor is made out of a nice metal, which is really off because most of the guns are made out of like a plastic, but it's made out of this nice metal. It's foam filled, so you don't gotta buy little foam rings and fit them in there and all that stuff. And it makes the gun dead quiet. I recommend to put that little tape mod that you can see on the front there. But there is one downside. It is 16mm threads, so you aren't going to be putting it on any other gun. But if you want to put a normal suppressor on your, like the gun, they do make 16mm to 14mm adapters if you don't want to run this suppressor, but this suppressor works pretty fine. Now you could say it makes the gun longer, it makes it more front heavy, and it just makes it harder to holster, but I feel like those downsides are worth it because the payoff is just a super quiet pistol. Now let's go over the final thing that's included, and that is the mag. I'd be kind of concerned if it didn't come with a mag, but it's a 25 round green gas magazine, and one of the biggest selling points of this gun, since it's non-blowback, is the gas efficiency. When I tested it, I got around 118 shots out of one gas fill in a mag. That's pretty good for a gas pistol. And to load it, it's just like normal pistol. You just pull the little spring down. It's a double stacked magazine, and to fill it with gas, You just on the bottom you can see a little green gas nozzle. You just get your green gas can, put it in there, and fill up your mag. Overall, a pretty nice mag. It's made out of a nice metal. It doesn't feel like it's going to break if it hits the ground. Pretty nice mag. So overall, the Tokyo Marui Mark 23 is a very accurate and quiet pistol. And it might not be everybody because of the size and the heavy trigger pull, but I hope my review helped you on buying your own. And speaking of buying your own, I bought mine for around $250 at a local shop. But on HopUp, they vary for around $200 to $300. They are a little bit harder to find. But before you go, make sure to leave a comment, because I really like reading comments. And I'm just going to leave you with some footage of the Mark 23 shooting and stuff.